Okay, so last league I met quite a few people who were struggling to make more than 2 divines throughout the entire league. So I thought I'd do a video today showing people the methods I use, and hopefully I can help some people make some actual currency this time around. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so starting off with Expedition. You basically just run around placing explosives down. You're trying to blow up these remnants that will modify what the monsters and the chests give you. You want to prioritize the monsters over the chests, in my opinion. Those big, tall posts with the skulls on them, that's what you want to be blowing up with the remnants. And the remnants you want to be targeting are increased quantity, logbooks, and the stacked decks. Okay, so when you get logbooks, you could either run them and get a mixture of good loot and currency to spend with the vendors, or you could sell them for a decent penny. It's up to you what you do with them, but both ways you're making money. You also get refresh currency. I suggest you keep them, but it's up to you again, you can sell them. Okay, so when you get yourself a logbook, you can either sell it, like I mentioned, and if you're going to do that, check what's on it. If it's got these Black Scythe mercenaries, it's going to sell for a lot more than the Order of the Chalice or the Broken Moon. Alright, so now that you've farmed Expedition for a bit, you should have built up a decent amount of artifacts you can use with the traders. So let's start off with Tujin. Alrighty, so starting off with Tujin, he's going to sell stuff like jewels, currency, gems, essences, all that sort of stuff. And basically, you're going to pick what you want. So say I want these Screaming Essences of Greed. We'll click on that. And he's going to bring up the haggle window. So I can press confirm right now and get those 2 essences. Or I can make a lower offer, like this. And he's come back with a counter offer. So now I can pay that amount, which is lower than the initial amount. Or I can make him another offer. Again, he's lowered it. We'll make another offer. And he sold it to us for 42. Now, he won't always sell it to you. If you piss him off, he will literally tell you that he's had enough and he won't sell you the item. So you don't want to take the risk if it's a Divine Orb or Mirror. I'd straight up just pay for it. Okay, so moving on to Rog. Rog is a mixture of a trader and a crafter. So he's going to sell you some rare items, which you can either straight up just take, or you can craft with him. But the crafts will be random. You don't know what you're going to get. It could be remove one mod with the lowest tier. It could be upgrade a tier of multiple mods. It could be reroll prefixes. So he's a mixed bag when it comes to making money. Some people like him, some people don't. But if you know what you're doing, you can actually make a decent penny off him. So let's have a look at what he's got here. I usually stay away from body armors and stick to gloves, rings, helmets, basically stuff I know. And I suggest you stick with whatever items you know. If you don't know anything, just experiment and you'll learn. But the strategy here, look for an item that's got good mods already, and hopefully we can improve them. Okay, that'll do. So you can see this two-handed mace has fizz damage percentage. It has flat fizz, crit, which I don't think 200 mace people use crit. I don't know. I've not played that since 2014, 2015, so I don't know how shit's changed. The strength mod's useless. The socketed gems is kind of useless as well, but hopefully we can get rid of it. So let's buy it. Reroll the suffixes 10 times, keep the best outcome. Okay, let's get rid of them. Why not? So as you can see, we've got attack speed, we've got crit multiplier, and accuracy. Those are actually decent mods for a 200 mace, I think. But like I said, I haven't played a melee build in a very long time, so I'm not sure. Okay, so here we've got upgraded level of 3 modifiers by 1 tier. Now this could be really powerful if we get it on attack speed and the 2 fizz mods. We got on one of the fizz mods and we got it on the attack speed. So this is looking really nice right now. Now we have removed 2 mods with the lowest modifier values. Now here I wouldn't want to do it because that fizz damage pretty much makes this mace decent. The socketed gems is kind of shit for this mace. So I would skip this, which would mean the next mod now is going to cost me more than it normally would, and I can't skip it again. But what we did get is upgrade the level of a mod by 1 tier, so sure, why not? And we upgraded the fizz damage again. Now, this Reforge one, I usually just go with it because it's usually cheap. But if you're low on the artifacts, then don't bother, you could skip. But again, you could run into a mod that will brick the item. So I'll just upgrade it. Okay, reroll the modifier values. This is basically a divine. Sure, why not? And now, the final one here is reroll suffixes 3 times, which I'm not going to do. The mace is decent, so I don't need to do anything. And as you can see there, we've got a high fizz DPS mace, which took literally no effort at all, really. Okay, so moving on to Gwennon, she's basically just a orb of chance. She'll turn a white item into a blue, yellow, or unique. She could add corruption, or she could add influence to an item as well. But people don't really use her anymore. She used to be really good for getting headhunters and mage bloods. She was really broken, but she got nerfed, and not many people use her anymore. So, if you do want to try and get a headhunter, the odds are really slim, but it could happen. You just come to a trade, obviously. I don't have a heavy belt here, so I'd reroll. Don't have anything there either. Reroll again. I didn't roll anything again, right. So basically, you would look for a heavy belt for Mage Blood or leather belt for Headhunter, stuff like that. So I'll just do this Viridian Jewel. As you can see, I got a blue item with it, so pretty garbage. I'll do this Quiver just to show you again. It became a rare. And yeah, that's basically what she does. Okay, so finally we have Danig. And basically he just sells refresh currencies and he'll convert his currency into currency for other traders. Basically you only use him for Tujin conversion, so you can get more currency from Tujin. Okay, so next up is my favourite league mechanic. A lot of people hate it. It's not a reliable moneymaker, but when it pays out big. And that's Ritual. Now, I'm going to show you some of the loot I got from last league, and it'll be showing up right now. Okay, so as you just saw, Ritual is a very profitable mechanic when it does pay out. As I said, it's a slot machine. It's not guaranteed to pay out, but it can pay out big. Now, the mechanic itself isn't anything too fancy. It's literally just killing some monsters in a circle. You just click an altar, kill them all, move on to the next altar, and you just do it as you're clearing maps, basically. And at the end of your map, you just have a look at the items and pick what you want. Okay, so next up we have the red Eldritch altars. Now I know most people are probably thinking, Cleddyf, those blue altars are the best altars, they can give you divine orbs and all of that. But here's the thing, the red altars will give you a crap load of raw chaos and awakened sextants early on. And on top of that, you have a chance at getting high tier div cards, like Apothecary and Doctor. I've personally had an Apothecary drop from one before, and it doesn't care about the map, it could be any map with a red altar. Okay, so next up is Harvest, and Harvest can be profitable in a few different ways. So firstly, obviously you could sell your flowers after killing the monsters. You could hoard your flowers and sell them later on during your league, because they always go up in price, it seems. Alternatively, you can use the Harvest crafting bench and use that to actually craft items to sell. Okay, so next up we have Harbinger and Essence. I've joined them together because it's very similar here. You can force both of them into your maps with the Atlas. Harbinger is going to give you some shards. You can get a Mirror Shard or a Fracture Shard, which are worth a bit of money. With Essence, you're going to get essences you can obviously sell or use to craft gear. So, yeah, there's not really much to talk about there. They're just both consistent extra moneymakers. Okay, so moving on to crafting. This is the best moneymaker in the game, hands down. Like, I haven't done anything in this game that even competes with how much money you make doing this. So essentially, you're going to want to find yourself an item to craft, something you know how to make and maybe others don't, or maybe they're too lazy to make, and you're going to sell that item to them for a stupid amount of money. Now, if you're new, you probably don't know anything about crafting, and for you guys, I suggest you just find a flask, slap a transmutation on it, and then slap some alteration orbs on it, and you're good to go. It's that easy. If you want to learn how to craft flasks and jewels, I do have some videos on my channel. There's a playlist called Crafting for Profit, if that takes your interest. Yeah, I do plan on adding a few more videos to this league as well. Yeah, it's a insane moneymaker. Okay, so the final method's a bit of a newbie method, and involves picking up rare items, and I'm not talking about the Chaos recipe. I'm talking about picking up rare jewelry and rare boots. Now, early on, like we're talking the first few days of League, people will want gear that has attributes, life, and resistances. Even if it's like mediocre, they just need to get their resistances capped and they need to get their attributes high enough so they can use whatever gear they plan on using. So, because of that, a lot of people will be willing to shell out like 10, 15, maybe 20 chaos for something that's pretty crappy on the first few days. I also want to add that if you're a new player to this game and you don't know what items are worth, throw in your items into maybe like a 5C dump tab and try selling it that way. If it sells pretty much instantly, you know you've underpriced the item and then you know what to look for next time. If the items don't sell, then you know that nobody wants them. You can either lower the price or just throw them away. Okay guys, so I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to respond to you. And yeah, hope you guys have a good patch 3.23.